Hello all, this is Karthik Dale from Data Skills. Today's topic is Power Query. It's very interesting, easy and useful to all the Excel users. So before I start this session, let me ask you three quick questions. Are you spending so much time to prepare Excel reports? Are you depending on the IT or MIS team to get your reports done? Do you want to be an advanced Excel user? If your answer is yes for at least one question, then this video is for you. So today's topic is Power Query in Excel. So who needs to learn about this Power Query? Who are the users? So it can be a process associate or manager or anyone who works with the data. Everyone needs to know about this Power Query. So what is a Power Query then? You see this Power Query is called as an ETL tool. Stands for extract, transform and load. So in other words, like using the Power Query, you can get the data from the different applications. That applications like Excel, CSV file, or Access, or SQL, Azure, XML, JSN, Web, even PDF file, and also from folder also you can get the data. You can get the data from the different applications by using the Power Query. After getting the data, you can transform the data according to your requirement. So many times the data which we get it from the different application, it won't be in the format which we are looking for. So that transformation part, we spend a lot of time to format the data, to writing the formulas, to do the modifications, data crunching, correct? So that all those things can be done with the Power Query. You can transform the data using this Power Query. After transforming the data in the Power Query, then load that data to Excel again. Okay, so this is about these in simple words, get data, transform the data and load back to Excel. So that is about the Power Query. So let's see with the practical examples now. We'll start with a simple example, then we'll increase the complexity of it. Let's get started now. Here is my file, first file. Let me open this. Here I have some names, employee names we have. These names I want to split by delimiter. Okay, so usually what you do, you'll go to data ribbon and you use something called text to columns. Otherwise, some people write the formulas. Yes, I can write the formulas, but the problem here is that names are not following the consistent format. What I mean, here is the first name and last name. Here I have the first name, middle name and last name. And somewhere here we have VVS Lakshman, where I have the first name, middle name and again one more middle name and last name. So writing the formula will be tough here in this scenario. Of course, using the text to column, it can be done real quick, but it is a static. What I mean by static, if you added any new records, you need to do the text to columns one more time. It cannot be done automatically. There is no refresh button. Okay. Yeah, so that is a problem with the text to column. So instead of that, how Power Query is going to help us, I'm going to show you now. So that Power Query is sitting within the data ribbon, and there is a group called get and transform data. Get and transform data is a synonym of the Power Query. Remember, earlier it used to call as a Power Query. Recently, Microsoft changed that name as a get and transform data. So what it means is you can get the data from the table, you can get the data from the website, from the text file, from many other places. You can get the file from the workbooks, CSV file, XML, JSN, folder, even PDF, Azure databases, many places. So we'll be seeing some examples today. Let's check this out. So now this time our data is sitting in the table. As it is a table, you see the table design and the table name is a employee name underscore TB. Okay, this is our table name. So let's go to this data ribbon and I want to get the data into Power Query. So simply click on the table or range. Once I click on the table or range, being anywhere in the table, just click on it. So it will open a new window called Power Query Editor. Okay, that prefix is the table name followed by that Power Query Editor. That Power Query Editor is a common. This is a new window. Whatever the table data we had in that Excel, same thing it is showing here. So this is the place where we do the all the transformation part. So the transformation part is very simple. If you know the right click, most of the times you can transform the data by using the right click. Trust me. Check out this now. What we want to split this data, correct? So first I'll right click on this. Once you right click on it, there are so many options are showing, copy, remove other columns, there are many. So first what I do is I'll go to transform. In the transform there is an option called capitalize each word. Once I click on this capitalize each word, it has become all of them are showing in the proper case now. Capitalize each word, correct? Earlier Rohit Sharma and other names are lowercase, some of them are uppercase, but now everything is in the capitalize each word, it is applied. So that's great. What are the steps you're doing? This will be shown here. It will show, it will call as a, this section is called as a applied steps section. First two steps are common: source, nothing but this will get the data from the table and change the data type. After that, just now we had done a step called capitalize each word. That step, it is recorded here. It's just like a record macro. If you are aware about the record macro, similar to it, but it is more advanced than that. So see now, after this, I'll right click on it and duplicate this column. Here is a fourth option called duplicate column. Once I click on it, same column of data, it is duplicated here. Now, why I duplicate here is I want to keep the full name, but here this one I'm going to split this data so that I'll be having the full name and also that first name, middle name, and last names also. Correct. So now right click on this column. There is option called split column by delimiter. Split column by delimiter, the number of characters. There are so many options are available. In Excel, you don't have these many options. Here we have so many options. So I'll click that first option called by delimiter. Once I click on that by delimiter, it will give you a split column by delimiter dialog box. In that, it already understood that your delimiter is a space. If any case you did not understand correctly, you can select the different option. There are 6 options are here. If none of them are correct, then you can select the custom and you can write what is your delimiter. But in this case, it understood correctly and it is automatically taken that space. That's fine. And how do you want to split this? Do you want to split by leftmost delimiter or rightmost delimiter or each occurrence of the delimiter? You see here by default it is selected as each occurrence of the delimiter. As per our requirement also, we want to split by each occurrence of the delimiter. So I'll click OK now. You see this? Rohit Sharma is split into Rohit and Sharma. Then VBS Lakshman, you see this VBS Lakshman. Okay. So if you want to rename this headers, yes, you can double click on this header. You can change what are the name you want to write that header name, you can write it, but you cannot modify the values here. If you can really modify the records here, no one can trust on the report which we created. So that actual values you cannot modify. You cannot edit this, but the header names obviously you can modify. So once you're done with the modification, this is what we are looking for. Then you simply click on the close and load. Once I click on this close and load, what it means by close and load is closing the Power Query editor and load it back to Excel. That's what it means. Let me click on this close and load. Here you see that it is inserted the new sheet called sheet 1. Earlier it was only one sheet called input data, but here with the Power Query it is inserted the new sheet and it is loaded all the data here. So if you want, you can rename this data as output data. Enter. I'll go to this input data. Let me add one more name here. One more name has been added here. Now, once I go back to this output data, is that showing that new name, Rajesh Nair? No, it is not. But you need not to do that steps once again, the splitting this data into multiple columns. Again, you need not to do. Already it is done. Here is a query. Here is a query it is showing. Just click on the refresh. Just click on the refresh. Here it is showing the Rajesh Nair in the proper case, and here is a split one. Correct. Otherwise, you can refresh like this also. Right click on this table anywhere and click on the refresh. This is also refresh your query or query. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to see many other examples. Let's get continue this. So I'll close this file. We are going to work with the multiple files today. So check out just another requirement. See here, I have many snacks here. Ice cream repeated many times, chocolates, again wafers. There are many snacks are there and they are duplicates. Correct? I want to get the unique values. I want to get the unique snacks names somewhere here. Let's say column D. I want to get all the unique names. So which approach you'll follow? Forget about the Power Query. You tell me which approach, like how you make that unique list dynamically. I request all you people to turn off your video, people who are turned on. Okay. Shreyan saying that like remove duplicates. So yeah, like if you say remove duplicates, of course we can do it. Like usually what people do is they'll take a copy of this data, they'll paste some other column. Let's say here I'll paste it, and after that we'll go to this data tab, remove the duplicates, and click OK. It is removed. This many 18 duplicates removed and 7 unique values remain. Click OK. Let's say I'll add one more new snack name. Let's say burger or pizza. One more time I'll add one pizza. It is not added that pizza here. It is not added that burger here. Correct? So nothing but I need to take a copy again, paste it here and remove duplicate. That's what I need to do. Hey, one more problem here is a chocolate, here is a chocolate, again chocolates, nothing but 3 times it is repeated. How come? We remove the duplicates, but still it is showing it. Reason? Like here in this chocolate, we have the one space, one or two. Or here you may have or you may not have. So that's how, for us, we know that all these 3 chocolates are same, but for system, it will consider as a different items. Got it? So that is the issue. So even if I do the remove duplicates multiple times also, it is not going to happen. So usually what people do is they'll add a new column where they'll write the trim and remove the duplicates. Otherwise, they'll insert the pivot table and drag it to rows. Otherwise, if you are having the new latest version of Excel, you need to write formula like unique. There is a new formula called unique, which is in the latest version. It is available. Equal to unique for this range. I'll give it. Bracket close and enter. It is giving the unique values. So you see again the same problem is chocolates. 3 times it is showing because there are space we have, correct? So this way it is not going to work out. So instead of that, we'll take the help of the Power Query now. So right now you see that there is only one sheet called source data. Sorry. Yeah, there is only one sheet called source data. Let it be. I'll go to data ribbon and click on the from table or range. So remember this table name is the table 4. Some name called table 4. Let it be. Go to data tab and click on the from table or range. Once I click on it, it will open a new window. That new window is called Power Query Editor. So this is a query name. We call it as a query name here. That query name, query settings name, nothing but query name. So by default, it will take the what do you call that table name itself as a query name, but instead of that you can change it query query underscore. What is the functionality we want? That unique list, right? Query unique list or unique snacks list, whatever you want, you can write it, enter. Changing the query name is not mandatory. Earlier we are not done, but now we are done. That's okay. So let's come back to this data now. So what exactly we are going to do? Here there are duplicate values are there. We need to remove the duplicates, right? Praveen asking that is that compulsory to have data in table format or range also? I'll be answering that Praveen in soon. I just now done that, like I renamed the query. That's it. So after that, what exactly I'm going to do is I'll select this column, right click, I click on this remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. Don't click on this remove. If you click on the remove, entire column will be removed. Here there is option called remove duplicates. I click on this remove duplicates. Now you see here, I remove the duplicate, but still it is showing that chocolates, again chocolates, again chocolates. Nothing but we remove the duplicates, but not exactly we remove the duplicates because there are extra spaces are there. So first we need to remove, we need to apply the trim, then we need to remove the duplicates. So whatever the part just not done, I need to close that step. I'll close the step by clicking on the close button. Now this is the same source data whatever we had in the table. So now I'll right click, transform, and I'll apply something called trim. I'll apply the trim, and after that, one more time I'll go to this transform and also do the capitalize each word. Either you take capitalize each word or uppercase or lowercase, any of them you do it. Why I'm doing, I'll tell you. Because Power Query is a case sensitive. What I mean, let's say here is the ice cream, which is in the proper case, whereas next one, let's assume that it is in the uppercase. Values are same, one is uppercase, one is the proper case, then it will, Power Query will consider this as a one unique value, this as a another value. But for us, we know that both are same. So to make it consistency, let's make them as a proper case or lower case or uppercase. In this case, I make the all of them as a proper case. Then select this column. Now right click. Then you click on the remove duplicates. Once I click on the remove duplicates, now there are no chocolates are duplicate, no other values are duplicated now. So now I'll click on this close and load. Once I click on this close and load, it is going to insert in the new sheet. Once I click on it, right now it is only one sheet we have. It is going to insert the new sheet. Oh, this data, I'll call it as a output data or whatever the name. In the source data, okay, sorry, here I misspelled this. So I'll change this. Once I go back, here it is not corrected still. Right click and refresh, it will be taken care. Correct? So this is how it's working. You add the new data also here, whatever you want. Let's say some XYZ item, XYZ again, or XYZ, even with the space. Click on the refresh, now you see this. Okay, this is how it is working. So this is a second example. Save this file and close it. Yeah, this is another requirement I have. Let's say there is a one company where they have the three factories in the different places, different locations. Factory 1, all these products they manufacture. Factory 2, same company, three different factories. Okay, so what you need to understand here is, um, all these factories, I mean, this factory 1 have a product called, let's say, product 9, and in the factory 2 also you may have the product 9 or you may not produce the manufacture the product called product 9. You may have or you may not have. uh, so here what exactly I want is all these three factories related unique list of the products are required. Unique list of the products. Usually what you do, you'll insert a new sheet or in the within the existing sheet you do it. So you'll go to the factory 1, you'll take a copy of all this data, then factory 2, factory 3, all you'll copy paste in the one place, one by one you'll append the, like this. Then after that you'll select the data and remove the duplicates. If anytime if you added any new product in the factory 2, again you need to do that step one more time. So this is a manual work which I don't want to do it. So let's take the help of the Power Query now. So here in the factory 1 I am here. This is also table, guys. Remember, this is also table. So table design, table 1, and second one is also table, and third this is also table. Let's assume the second one is not a table. I'll make it as a convert to normal range. This looks like a table, but this is not a table. This is not a table. So first I'll go to factory 1. Remember the factory 1 related first one is a table. This one is not a table. Looks like a table, but it is not a table because there is no design ribbon is showing. If it is not a design ribbon is showing, nothing but it is not a table. And here factory 3, again it is a table. Fine, no problem. Go back to factory 1, click on the data ribbon, and click on from table or range. Once I click on this table or range, it is taking the all the factory one related all the products, right? So there's a table one and something it's saying. Instead of that, I'll call it as a query factory one product list, some name. Okay. Here I'm not going to remove duplicates. Within this itself, you see that product one, again product one, duplicates are there. I'm not going to remove the duplicates. Even if I remove the duplicates, let's say product 9, that product 9 is there in the factory 2 also, correct? So now I'm not going to delete that remove duplicates. I'm not going to do it now. Let it be here. So this time, instead of click on this close and load, I click on the drop down here. There are two options you see. Once you click on this close and load drop down, you see the two option called close and load. That is the first one which we already working. If you click directly or click on this close and load, both are same, which is going to insert in the new sheet. So that we have done twice already. So here you see the new option called close and load to. So what it means is if you click on this close and load to, you have the multiple options. Let's click on this and see that. Once I click on this close and load to, it will ask you, you want to import the data. How do you want to import? Do you want to import as a table in the new worksheet? That is the default one. No, I don't want to import as a table. I will take an option called only create a connection. Because why I'm not taking the table is already the data is there, right? So same table, I don't want to do it. Take it again one more time in the new sheet. I'll take as a new connection. Once you take the only create a connection, these two options are disabled. Existing worksheet or new worksheet, it is disabled now. Let it be. I'll click OK here. So that first query one, query factory one product list. This is the name it is showing. Let it be. I'll go to this factory two one, and this is not a table. Remember, once I click on this from table or range, once I click on it, you see this create a table. It's saying I clicked on the from table just like the previous one. Earlier one was as it is already table, it is not giving this dialog box, but this time it is giving this dialog box. Reason, it is not a table, so it will first convert to table, then it will take you to the Power Query editor. So let me click OK here. So it is taken as to Power Query editor, same that table to relate all the data. So instead of this name, I'll rename this as a factory to product list. Enter. So close and load to again. Only create the connection. Click OK. Same quickly I'll do this for the third one also. Yeah. So these three connections are established now. All these three we are going to append them. So how to append, I'll be showing you now. So go to data ribbon, be anywhere, go to data ribbon, click on this drop down of get data. Once I click on it, you have many options. You can get a data from the workbook or Excel text file or folder. There are many options are available. So I'll go to this combined queries. In that combined queries, there is an option called merge and append. Merge I'll be talking soon. Now I'll be talking about the append. Append two queries or more than that into one. So that's what it means. So once I click on it, it is asking, do you want to append two tables, three or more tables? So I'll click on this three or more tables because three of them we need to append. So I'll select this. These three I selected. Otherwise, you can select one by one also. Select it and click on add. All these three has been added here. Now what we are going to do is tables to append, nothing but this factory 1 2 3. We are going into appending into one table now. Once I click OK here, all the three tables related data has been appended into one. There is no duplicate headers are here, only one time it is showing. Right now this product one is here, again product one, multiple times it is showing it. correct? We need to remove the duplicates. We need to make it as a proper case. So let me do that steps. Right click, transform, and make it first capitalize each word. Then I will also do trim also. If there is any extra space, it will remove it, right? So what are the steps I'm doing? Capitalize each word, trim the text. All the steps are recording here. If you are aware anything about the macros, it's just like a recording macro, but it is more than that. In the record macro, you can record it once. If you've done any wrong step, you cannot undo. But here you have option called close. That's great. Now remove duplicates. Right click, remove duplicates. Once I click on it, yes, it is remove the duplicates, and it is showing this these many products. Earlier there are more products. Now it is showing the less products. Check out. I click on this close and load. It is showing this all the unique products. You see that product one is only once. It is not showing anytime more, right? Product 1, product 6, 5, and so on. You might be asking me, hey, why don't you do the sorting here? Product 1 should be at top, product 2, then 3, and so on, right? So this step already be done, I mean, loading into this. But after getting this data, our manager is asking that, this looks great, but whereas I want to have the sort of the data, product 1, 2, 3, like that. In this case, this append 1, this is the that appended data. So here, hover on it, there is an option called edit. Otherwise, click on it, right click, and click on the edit. Both are same. So click on edit, nothing but it will take you to the again Power Query editor. What are the steps you want to do? Do it now. You can apply the sorting also. You click on this drop down and either ascending order or descending order, you do it. So once I click on this ascending order, you see that product 1, it is showing. Earlier it was some product 6 or something it was showing, but now it is showing the product 1. That is fine. Oh, here you see the product 103, product 104, 108. Then here somewhere down product 2 it is showing. Nothing but all with the 1 it is showing it here. Guys, it is not the functionality of the Power Query. Even you do the similar data on the normal Excel, that sorting one, it will work the same way. It is not behaving something new in this Power Query. Correct? So, but our requirement is after product 1, product 2 should be there, then product 3, then product 4, and so on. So if this is your really requirement, what exactly I'm going to do is right click, duplicate the column. After duplicating the column, any guess what I'm going to do now? Any guess? Product 1, product 103, nothing but here you see the space is a delimiter, correct? So I'll split this into delimiter. Now you see this, right click, split column by delimiter. You see that space is my delimiter, each occurrence is delimiter, the default one, click OK. Now you see that product, everywhere it is showing the same product, correct? So now you go here, this data which is newly added, these two are newly added, right? So this place, I'll click on it, I'll make it, these are the numbers, agree, these are the just numbers. Now I'll make it ascending order or descending order, depends on your requirement. As we require ascending order, I'll click on the ascending order. Hey, now you see that product 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the sequence it is showing it. So just for our sorting purpose, we duplicated this column, then we um, split it into different columns, then we sort it, correct? But now I don't need these two columns. Right click, remove columns. Once I click on this remove columns, those two columns are removed, which are not required for us. Now I'll click on this close and load. You see that the close and load to is disabled. Reason, it is already loaded. You cannot load it again into new place. So that is the reason there is option called close and load only. This is the editing part we are doing it, correct? So I'll click on this close and load. Now check out here in the sheet 2, it is loaded the same data without any change. Only the thing is it is sorted the data now. Okay, so this data I can move it here. We call it as a unique list something. So you add any new products in this factory 1 or 2 or 3, you just refresh and it will show that unique list here. You can try that. So I'm closing this file. I'll take another example here. Yeah. So this is my source data, this blue color, and this green color one is the one which I'm looking for. This is how it should be data, the tabular format. But whereas this is, it is not in the tabular format, so it is maintained this way. This is not a proper way of maintaining data. Why I'm saying it is not a proper way? Because each category should be in the one different column. For example, all the products, all the different products like a company name or product, whatever you call it, it should be in the one column. In column D it is. That's great. This is no problem. But whereas this product is getting sold in the Paytm or Amazon, Snapdeal, Flipkart or Chrome or some other place it is getting sold, like these are the sales it is. Nothing but this is a seller name, right? So what exactly I want is that product name or company name should be here, and beside to that it should be seller name, and third column should be that value of it, something like this it should be. To make this way, it will take a lot of time to do it. You see this, first I'll take a copy of it, I'll paste it here manually, paste special values. After that, I'm taking a copy of this headers, copy it, I'll go back here, Alt ES, paste special transpose. Okay, all the transpose it is. This Nokia need to be drag it down, and the sales you will copy it now. Control C, come here, paste special, transpose, click OK. Now after that, then Samsung, I'll take a copy of it, paste it. Then these headers need to be repeated, copy, paste, and but the sales are different. So I'll take a copy of this, paste special, transpose, enter, and drag it down. Oh, I drag it one row extra, I'll delete it. This is what manually we do, which will take so much time. So I don't want to do this manually like this. I want to get it done real quick. You see that how real quick it can be done using the Power Query. So I'll again go to data. There's already table. So I'll click on this table at this range. It will open a Power Query editor window. In that Power Query editor window, the first column, there is no problem. All the products which are in one category, all are in the one column. There is no problem. But this Paytm, Amazon, Snapdeal, these are the sellers. It should not be in the different columns. It should be in the one column. So you need to convert them into that row wise, nothing but the tabular format. So select that problematic columns. Just right click, and now you click on an option called unpivot columns. Once I click on this unpivot columns, oh, real quick it is done that attribute is a one new column name it is taken. You see that Paytm, Amazon, Snapdeal and so on, all the Nokia, and then Samsung, iPhone and so on, it is showing it. So if you don't like this attribute, that by default it will give that name called attribute, but you can change the name, vendor name, seller name, you can change it, and here is the amount, selling price. Now this is what the transformation I've done. Very simple. What I've done, this is what the data it was looking like. So after that, I selected this column to this column except the first, because the first column is in the tabular format only. There is no problem. Now right click, and there is option called unpivot columns, so that it is transformed as this. And I change rename the headers. So just click on this close and load. If you want to insert in the same sheet itself, click on this close and load too. Then you can mention that, hey, you create as a table within the existing sheet. That existing sheet, the cell reference is somewhere here. Click on this again, click OK. So that will show the newly transformed data. So if you want to see the new data now, let's say if I want to add a new, I'm adding some data here. So the Jio Mobile right now it is not showing, but once I go here, refresh it, right click and refresh, it should show. Yes, it is showing it. Correct. So this is how it works, guys. Excel way, it will take time. Even if you need to write this data, if you want to transform into this using the macro, again you need to spend good time to transform that, to write the code. But here, just one right click, unpivot the columns, as simple as that. Now I'll be showing how to get the data from the websites. Earlier in all the 4 examples, all the time we are trying to get the data from the table, Excel data, that is a table, from there we are trying to get it. But not only from the Excel, you can also get the data from the website or text file or from the folder. You see that workbook, text, CSV, XML, JSON, folder, or databases, different databases, or Azure online databases, other sources. Earlier it used to be Facebook also, but recently it has got removed. They stopped giving the support to it. So earlier we used to get the data from the Facebook also, if you know the ID. So combined queries. So this is what, yeah. So now I'll be trying to show you how to get the data from the website. So I'll take the blank sheet here, the sheet 1. Let's try to get the world population. Otherwise there's a corona time, right? Like let's try to get the all the data which is corona cases. We want to get it country wise. So if this is the case, let me check out this. Corona cases by country, something like that. Yeah. Worldometers. I'll click on this list. Here is some information, dashboard kind of thing they are giving it. That's okay. But if you have any data which is in the tabular format, yes, you can get it from the Power Query. Okay, this is look like a table, correct? So this data you can get it into your Excel file. So usually if you try to copy this one, you see this, if I try to copy it, I'm scrolling down. Oh, it's scrolling very fast, scrolling down. Apart from the copying the actual data, I'm copying that other data also. You see this, I'm scrolling up, scrolling down. This is what the many times you'll face the problem. So no worry, we'll take the URL itself. I'll take a URL of it. I'll go back to our Excel. Click on this from web. Once you click on from web, it will ask you what is the URL. I'll give that URL. There is something called advanced also. That is a advanced part. You can make it as a parameter. You can make it dynamic. But right now it is a static URL. So I'll take this one. I click OK. Yeah, some navigator is open and it is going to show you the preview first. Usually it won't take this much time. Yeah. So you see this some document, table 0, table 1, some tables it is showing, right? Just click on it and see whether this is the data are you looking or not. Once I click on it, one of the item, it will show the preview here. It is going to show us. Yeah, some HTML table, it's saying this is not the our table which we are looking. I'll click on the table 0. You see that country, world, North America, US, India, all that countries are here. And this is a table 1. This is something else. It is preview download on Saturday, June 26th. But whereas here, yeah, I think in that website we have the multiple tables. So that's what it is showing it here, preview. So I'll go with the first table 01. I click on this transform data. Once I click on it, it will open our Power Query editor. Till now it was showing that navigator. That navigator is between it is creating a connection between Excel and the Power Query. So it is established a connection now. So all the data it is there in the Power Query editor now. So here for the first column, that null or 1, 2, 3 something is there, right? Which we don't want it to have it. I'll right click and remove this. Remove. It is removed. Now you see this North America, US, Europe, Asia. Oh, this is what the data it is showing now. So let's say this world data, overall world, that summing part I don't want to do it. That overall data it is showing overall world. So I don't want to keep this overall world, which I can do it with the pivot table inserting or summarization with the formulas. I can do it. So which I don't want that first row. So what you can do is if you want to remove the rows, click on the drop down, and there is an option called remove top rows. Remove top rows. Once you click on this remove top rows, how many number of rows you want to remove from top, it is asking. So I'll say that 1. Remember right now row number 1 it is showing that world. Click OK. It's been removed now. If any one of the column, if you don't want to keep it, you can select it and you can remove. But if you want to have a serial number starting number 1, 2, 3 and so on, what you can do is you can go to add column, and in this there is a something called index column. If I click on this index column directly, it is adding a new column called index 0, 1, 2. It is adding, oh no, that index number should not be start with a 0. For me, it should start with a 1 onwards. So I'll close the step which I just not done. Added index, I'll close it. No problem. I'll go to add column once again. I click on this index column drop down. Here you have the from 0, from 1 or custom. So if I click on from 1, that index number will start from the 1 onwards. If you click on the custom, you can mention from which number you want to start. Let's say once you click on the custom, you can mention that starting from the 101. But here in this case, I want to start from the 1, and incremental number also should be 1. After 1, it should be next 2, 3, 4 and so on. That's what it means, incremental, increment by 1, 1. So click OK. Now you see that index number is added at the right side. That is the default functionality. But you want to keep that index number, nothing but ranking or what is the name, otherwise the index itself. So you want to keep it at the left side, not the rightmost. So yes, you can move it. So you see this, I'm moving like this. Or manually I drag it like this. But instead of moving like this, what I exactly can do is right click, move to the beginning. If I click on the left, one column left side it will go. If I click on the right, one column right side will move. But if I click on the to beginning, it will move to the beginning of the this data, right? So this is the index. Now I'll go to home ribbon and click on this close and load, so that the data will be loaded in the new sheet. So I would have clicked on the existing sheet itself because the sheet 1 was a blank new, but that's fine. It is going to insert in the sheet 2. It is going to load all the data. So let's assume you want to refresh this data every 60 minutes or every 30 minutes. So if you want to see that, just you can do the settings. You need not even click on the refresh also. Now you see that in the sheet 2 you have all the data, but every 30 minutes you want to refresh this data. So in that case, this table 0, whatever name it is, right click. Here there is something called properties. Click on that properties. In the properties, there is option called refresh every 60 minutes. Minimum is 1 minute, guys. People like who invest on the stocks, who do the trading, they want to see it every now and then. So they will give the minimum number like either 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever according to their requirement. So you can change these numbers. Minimum is a 1 minute. So you can increase or decrease. So once I click OK, every 1 hour, it will get refreshed automatically. save this. So like this, you can get the Google Finance data, our world population. You see that world population. This is all not copy pasted from the website to here. If you copy paste it, what happens is it apart from the giving the data, it will also give the that icons also. I'll give one example. World population by country, like this. I'll take this Wikipedia one. You see this here, country, territory, like China, India, United States, all these country names it is showing, and which region they belongs to, and what is the population, 2018, 2019, and what is the change, is that positive change or negative change, it is showing it. This is all good. But when you're trying to copy directly from here, apart from copying, you see this, I'll just copy for you, your records. I'm trying to copy, Control C. I'll go back to any of the sheet. Once I paste it, Control V, it is pasted that objects also. It is pasted as a hyperlinks. So to make it again clean and neat format, it will take a lot of time, which I don't want to do. So what do you do? Just with the way I've shown you this, same thing you do it with for the world population also. It will take the less time. Close this file now. Any questions on this? Getting data from the website? Okay, one last example. If you don't have any queries. No VLOOKUP. Oh, what is this? So as Excel users, we use a lot that formula called VLOOKUP. There are many people who survive their job just by knowing the formula called VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is such a popular function. Of course, there are many advanced formulas are there, like index or offset or new function like XLOOKUP. But still, people like that VLOOKUP for many reasons. So that's fine. So there are people who face troubles while they are writing the VLOOKUP formula. There are many people who are not aware about the VLOOKUP. Their aim is to learn the one formula at least that VLOOKUP. So if you are not getting time, if you want to do your work real quick, then without using the VLOOKUP, you can get that. Check out what is my requirement, I'll tell you. This is a table one you can assume, where I have the employee name, employee IDs, department, all this information. And when I go to the lookup sheet, there is another table called lookup sheet where I have the region and what who is the manager for the region wise. East region Swatimatam, West region Rachna Bhagat, and so on. If I go to the salary information once again, just to show you, there is no manager information. We have the region information, but we don't have the manager information. We want to get that manager information. Typical Excel user, what they do, they'll write the manager here, some header equal to VLOOKUP, something like that. We'll do it. Agree? So you need not to do that. You need not to do this. Right click and delete that column. How to get that manager information quickly? I'll show you now. I'll go to data ribbon. I'll click on the from table or range. Once I click on it, this data it is showing. That's fine. I don't want to do any modification on this. I click on this close and load to, close and load to. I'll create a connection again. Click OK. Same thing I will do that for the second table also. From table or range. Close and load to. Only create connection. Click OK. So the two tables are available now. Now you go to this get data, combine queries. In that there is option called merge. Now it is you can for understanding purpose, you can consider as a merging the columns, whereas appending is appending the rows. That example we are seeing. The three different factories related data we are appended into one, whereas here we are going to merge the columns. There earlier appending one, appending the rows, right? So let's take this example, merge now. In the merge, you are not going to add any new rows. You are going to merge the columns. So click on that merge. Once you click on the merge, it will ask you this merge dialog box. It will give you select the tables and matching columns to create a merge table. So you want to create a merge table, like you see this, there is an option called employee info. I'll select that employee info. So in this table itself, we need to get the manager information, right? So that I have taken that first, then later that below one, I'll take the lookup table. If I write the VLOOKUP also, just remember, like let's assume this is a one sheet. If you want to write the VLOOKUP, you'll be writing the VLOOKUP here, not here, correct? This is a unique table one, lookup table we call it, and we'll be writing in the transactional table. We'll write some header, then we'll write the VLOOKUP by looking into this table, right? So what you can remember is the lookup table should be at bottom and the transactional table should be at top. Now we need to tell that earlier the lookup value is each, and in this table something we used to do it, but all the VLOOKUP and all not required to do it now. You just select the region here and you select the region here. Why I selected these regions? Because in this table and in this table the common thing is a region. So here in the lookup table the regions are not duplicate, remember. And whereas here in the employee name, yes, we have the many times regions are duplicated, not a problem, because that is a transactional table, right? So here also it is showing that the selection matches 352 out of 352 rows in the first table. That's fine. There is a actually different join kinds are here, but I'm not getting into them. So I click OK here. Once I click OK, it will open a new window for query editor. So you see here, employee name. This is our transactional table from employee name to salary, correct? And that lookup table is showing as a table here, correct? There is a double arrow key is here. Click on it. It is showing the region and also manager. Nothing but in the lookup table, these are the two columns we have. So which column of data you want? We want manager. We don't want region, correct? Because already region is here. Why again duplicating? So I'll unselect it and also use original column name as prefix. This also will unselect it. What you do is you select it and give a try. If you click on OK, what it will do is it will give the prefix. So I don't want that prefix. I want to just show the manager. That is the reason I unselected. Click OK. Now you see this in this within the transactional table itself, that manager information is showing. Nothing but wherever the is, you see the Swati Matam. Wherever the Vesh, you see the Rachna Bhagat, and so on. So without using the VLOOKUP, we got the data here, correct? So this is a merge one. Instead of merge one, I can call it as a some other name, merge table. Enter. Now I can click on this close and load. It will load it into new workbook. Oh, sorry, new sheet. So this is how it works, guys. Any questions on this? I'll unmute. You can speak then. Yeah, I'm unmuting you. I hope you learned many new things on this video. If you are interested to join our paid classes, you can reach on this number or you can also email. And also please like, subscribe, comment and share this video. That's it for today. Thank you. Thank you so much.